Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik here again to bring you a review of an action RPG called The Oath in Felghana. Now this game wasn't originally called Oath in Felghana. This is a remake of an older game called The Wanderers from Is, or just The Wanderers from Is, I guess. This remake was originally released on PSP, but has now been ported over to Steam. It came out today, and that's why I'm reviewing it. Like I said, this is an action RPG, and you start out as what appears to be not the main character. You are Dogus' friend, Dogus being the blue guy you see there, and your name is Adol. Now, the basic story at the beginning of the game is that Dogus returns to his home village, and monsters have appeared for some reason. Now, this is pretty basic in an RPG. It's almost how every RPG starts. Basically, the land is ravaged, there's monsters roaming the highways, and you have to go kill them all. But I'm not going to give away any more of the story. I'm just going to review the gameplay of what I've seen so far and show you this little bit of video. Basically, I love this game. I picked up this game and I absolutely loved it from the very beginning. It threw you almost immediately into combat, and one of the main problems with RPG is their long drawn-out intro sequences. Not only that, this game encourages really fast-paced, frenetic combat, and it does this by dropping these potions that you see every once in a while. And if you can see in the bottom left corner there, it has strength add +2, defense add +0.06, MP speed times 2.6, and those potions will count down. So the faster you fight, the more potions you pick up, and the more of an advantage you have in combat. And this footage here is from the very beginning of the game. I didn't have to go very far to get the combat up to that pace. The combat is always fast. And I really enjoyed that about this game. Graphically, I'd say this game is also very satisfying. If you're a fan of anime, or if you just appreciate an art style that can be simpler and still demonstrate a sense of epicness, oh man, I hope that sentence made sense, then you'll appreciate the graphics here. It has all of the regular RPG tropes. It has save points, you have an equipment menu, you go loot items, you find items, you explore dungeons. You level up, you improve items at a blacksmith. But all that is surrounding this really excellent point and click combat system. And basically you navigate with your mouse or with the arrow keys. And I preferred the mouse, and you just hold down the click button to move forward, and then hit Z to attack, X to jump, and C does something too, but at the moment I forget what. So basically, you always attack in the direction that your arrow is pointing, which makes the combat really easy, really intuitive. There's also a few other things that I'll cover a bit later. As you can tell, opened up the menu there. As you can tell, the game is fairly fast-moving even from the very beginning. This is the first dungeon you find yourself in, and only a few minutes after the beginning of the game. It's also pretty visceral, surprisingly so, as the monsters fly apart whenever you are done with them. Here's another little aspect of the combat. If you click the middle mouse button, and you have a full gauge down at the bottom left there of the white stuff, I don't know what they decide to call it in this, you'll go into sort of an uber mode where you can attack super fast, do more damage, and take less damage. So I get stuck here for a little bit because after this it turns out that I have to wander back and forth across the map a couple times, and that I went the wrong way to begin with. So, here's a door, you can see it's locked. Anyways, what else do I have to tell you about this game? So this is a long-running series that has only recently been coming to Steam, and it's been announced that several of the games are going to be coming to Steam, just starting with this one. I for one hope that they remake the entire series from beginning to end and bring it all to Steam, because I'm having a lot of fun with this game. Like, so much fun that I'm probably going to end up playing the whole thing. If you can't tell already, I'm a pretty big RPG fan. I was a fan of the Final Fantasies, and I'm still a fan of the Final Fantasies up to at least 12. I'm not really counting 11 in there, but 9 was awesome, and 10 was kind of crap. But I'm a big fan of the RPG format. And I don't mean specifically the standing in one line waiting to attack, the JRPG format, but the equipment, the looting, the improving your skills, the choosing a skill tree, possibly, that only happens sometimes. And I think this game does all of that quite well. There I get some Ravel ore, which is used to improve your equipment. So, as you can tell, despite being a very basic game, it has a very constant flow, the action remains consistent, and there's always tons to do. I haven't found myself truly stuck yet. I do end this video on a boss fight which I can't seem to complete, but I'm assuming that's just because I'm ill-prepared, don't have potions, or suck too much at the combat. And I'm fairly certain after a few tries I'll easily be able to overcome the boss. Which it should be like that at the beginning of an RPG game. And I know this review is starting to stumble a bit, but I just can't find any more words to recommend how much I like this game. I think that everyone should support it so that more of this comes out on Steam. I think they've done a very good job of recreating this, of porting it to PC, and that the controls aren't awkward. My FPS seems to stay at a steady 75 instead of being locked at a lower number. And everything else remains perfect. As you can see, I use my special move there again. I'm doing considerably more damage, considerably faster, as you can probably tell. And one of the things I like most about this, and I've mentioned it before, is the potion system encouraging you to fight fast. Like, the faster you fight, the more buffs you get, the faster you can beat harder enemies in the future. So here I get to this guy, and it's where the game kind of pisses me off. And he tells me that I have to go all the way across the mine again to get to that locked door you saw me at near the beginning. And here's where I cut the recording and I'm like, to hell with this, I'm not showing the audience me walking back there. I can't even review for that long. So, another thing I kind of enjoy about this game is that the people actually say hi. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a very big deal, but so often you go into an RPG and you'll approach somebody and talk to them, and they will just say like something about the Queen or the current socio-political status of the country, and you're like, wow, have I met you before? Is there any reason for you to be telling me this? That is kind of ridiculous. Anyways, now I'm going to show off the bosses, and so far in my experience, the bosses in this game are damn hard. As you can tell, I just die there, I retry, I die again. I do not actually get past this boss in the review. But one thing I've forgotten to mention that also endears the game to me, and that I find is often very, very good in JRPGs or anything made that's Japanese, is the soundtrack. The reason I've skipped around so much in this game is to give you such a sampling of the soundtrack, which I think is one of the best I've heard in a game in a long time. In other words, there's nothing to prevent you from buying this game. Go out and get it. Yessik out.